Football and billionaires, one of the weird but fascinating phenomena of our times. Love it or hate it, when the ultra-rich show up, the stories are gold. Of triumph and failure in Manchester, boonga boonga parties in Milan, fashion revolutions in Miami or Paris, and those guys setting the whole football world on fire. Now, there is a new player in the list of the richest club owners, richer than almost all of them. The Hartono brothers, owners of the Indonesian Jarum Group, have a combined net worth of around $50 billion. Richer than Red Bull heir Mark Mateschitz, or the owners of Liverpool, Tottenham, and Manchester United combined. And they quietly bought a tiny football club on beautiful Lake Como. Yes, the place where they shot Star Wars and James Bond, where rich people land their seaplanes to drink 14-euro cappuccinos. Now, Como does not sound like the obvious place to buy a football team. But after the takeover, they went from Italy's 4th division all the way to Serie A. They have Fabregas and Henry as co-owners. The first one is also head coach. And they want to become a billion-dollar business by 2038 by building the Disneyland of football. But what the heck does that even mean? As it turns out, this billionaire buys football club story is a little different. Welcome to Athletic Interest in the business of Como. Just a few years ago, this club was cooked. 4th division, bankrupt multiple times, no academy, no training center, just this insta hotspot for a stadium. But then in 2019, things changed. The Hartono brothers bought the club. They might not know much about football, but they know business. In the 1950s, when they were kids, their father bought a modest cigarette manufacturing business in central Java, a small factory that produced clove cigarettes, a uniquely Indonesian mix of tobacco and cloves with a sweet, spicy aroma. But in 1963, the facility burnt down due to a devastating fire. Things became even worse for the brothers when their father died shortly after. Left with the inherited, destroyed factory, the brothers rebuilt the company, and over time turned it into the Jarum Group, one of Indonesia's most powerful conglomerates. According to Forbes, the Hartonos' net worth today is around $50 billion, making them one of the richest families in Asia. They expand far beyond cigarettes into banking, real estate, retail, agriculture, tech, hospitality, and now, football. Once the papers were signed, the Como rebuild began. They injected some serious talent. On the pitch, a mix of promising youngsters and veterans who knew ball. And off the pitch, names like Henry and Varane, investing in advertising. And of course, Fabregas, high on the shortlist of Europe's biggest clubs for their next head coach. It all paid off. In just a few years, they returned to Serie A, where they are now challenging the established clubs for European football. But like any modern football club, success is about more than tactics or talent. Behind the scenes, you're basically running a fast-growing business. And when you go from 4th division to elite level in almost no time, you better have a system that can keep up with your growth. And this is where the sponsor of today's video, Odoo, comes into play. Odoo is an all-in-one business management software that helps you manage your business more efficiently with over 45 integrated apps. And when it comes to one of the most critical parts of football operations, contracts, Odoo has that covered too with its Sign app. You could send documents for e-signature in seconds. Upload a document, add one or more signers, and drag and drop the fields you need anywhere on the document. Set the signing order, schedule automatic reminders so nothing gets forgotten. Signers can view documents on any device and sign them in just a few clicks. And you could even track signatures in real time. Never worry about tons of paperwork again. Plus, the app is in legal compliance with electronic signature standards in over 100 countries. Simple, fast, and reliable, you can use the Sign app for free, as your first Odoo app is free for life. And full access starts at just $19.90 a month. Odoo is already trusted by 15 million users worldwide. Check them out via the link in the description. Thanks to Odoo for supporting the channel. And now, let's get back to the business of Como, because their sporting success actually isn't even the real story. If your only goal is to build the next football giant, you don't pick Como. It has never really been a football city. It's not Milan, Rome, or Turin, where locals are invested in old rivalries. And it's certainly not Naples, where football is a religion. So
why Como?
On paper, Como really is just a small town with a population that would fit into San Siro. But it's a small town that happens to be damn beautiful. And that caught the eye of Miran Sawarso. On LinkedIn, he says his job is whatever his boss wants him to be or do. But that is an undersell. He actually is a creative mastermind and the driving force behind Scent Entertainment, Jarum Group's European arm focused on sports, media, and lifestyle projects. Sawarso is a storytelling guy. And when he first came to Italy, that's what he originally wanted to do, a reality TV show about Indonesian youth players. But when he saw Como, the lake, the stadium, the dying club, and the 5 million tourists that pass through every year, including George Clooney, he suddenly had a much bigger idea. What about combining all of these things? And because Como was so small, it offered something priceless in business: blank canvas. A place where you could try stuff without ultras starting a riot. But unlike so many other investors buying clubs, Suarso and the Hartonos are not trying to turn Como into just another filthy rich football club. They want more. And in this case, more resembles nothing less than what they call the Disneyland of football. But what does that even mean? It has surprisingly little to do with Mickey, Donald, or Goofy, more with Scrooge McDuck, but we'll get into that. The Como project is not only about football, it's about selling Lake Como as a lifestyle, then positioning the club as an authentic extension of that world. Or as Suarso explained, for Disney, Disneyland represents its theme park division. For us, the football club and the matchday experience are our theme park division. In other words, they are building a full-on entertainment ecosystem around the club. The strategy can be broken down into 4 key elements. First off, performance still matters, but most importantly, it's about how the team plays. Italian football has a reputation, but Como wants to do the opposite: attractive, offensive-minded football, something that fits with beautiful scenery. 2, what also matters in football is beer. So Como makes their own. And because this is Lake Como, of course, it's filtered through silk, a nod to the city's heritage. You even get one free if the team wins. But beer is just the beginning. Fashion crossovers with luxury brands, limited edition kits, an increased number of sales outlets. It's paying off. Merchandise is booming. The third part of their strategy is what you see while doom scrolling. Como knows that the world doesn't only watch football, it watches content. So they built a vibe, showcased their iconic stadium to every celebrity in the stands, grew to almost 2 million Instagram followers, and partnered with Hartono Group's streaming platform to distribute even more content. And 4, this is where Como is truly different and the centerpiece of their strategy. Como is a tourist hotspot. For most clubs, tourism and hospitality options go as far as choosing the best seats, maybe some snacks, catering in the lounge, and early access to the stadium with some BTS. But Como goes well beyond that. They offer match packages with hotels, seaplane rides, Vespa tours, and fine dining. Even football camps for kids are planned, so their Scrooge McDuck parents can enjoy their wine in peace. Insiders even claim that there are plans for a new yacht harbor, a pool on the stadium roof, an airport for seaplanes, and an amusement park. And the Disney castle right next to the stadium. Nah, just kidding with that one. But when Suarso said Disneyland of football, he wasn't. And of course, just like Disneyland, Como shouldn't close for the off-season. They don't just want to attract fans or tourists on a regular match day, but throughout the whole year. A perfect example of this is the Como Cup, their own pre-season tournament. In summer, while other European clubs fly to Asia or North America to grow their brand, Como stays at home. Means when the city is its busiest in terms of tourism and the regular football season pauses, they make sure that there is still football around, including a fan festival. So with its beautiful surroundings, Como has a unique ace up its sleeve, one that allows them to build a synergy that is only possible in Como. Or is it? Sure, not every club has this kind of location, and some clubs are already sold out without attracting more tourists. But the Como example shows that it might be time for clubs to get more creative and think about brand identity and entertainment more broadly. Every city, regardless of size or status, has its own authentic story to tell, and if clubs are willing to embrace these narratives in a credible way and weave them into their marketing strategies, they could build stronger brands, attract new audiences, and create richer, more memorable fan experiences. Visiting coal mines in Dortmund, Renaissance football weekends in Florence, the countercultural spirit of St. Pauli, Titanic exhibitions at Southampton, or our favorite, cheesecake tasting in San Sebastian. Como shows that football clubs can become cultural experiences that showcase the local lifestyle, not just 90 minutes of football. The question is, how far can they really push this? At the end of the day, Como is still a small town, and critics already wonder how much more tourism it can handle. There's another issue too. Right now, many people in the stadium are tourists. Even in the age of global fandom, you still need locals, season ticket holders, people who show up on a rainy Wednesday night, not just holidays. Without that, the risk is obvious. A club without a soul. For now though, it's working. Como is one of the most exciting teams in Europe, and their brand is exploding, and the project is genuinely fun to watch, all while quietly redefining what a football club can be. And whether people like it or not, one day Como 1907 might be remembered as a masterpiece in modern sport marketing.